Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
This is your host, Alicia Debrell from Insight Media. Today's guest is Brad Clark. Brad works with business owners and entrepreneurs and empowers them to transform their business into commercial, profitable enterprise that will work without them. Brad helps business owners realize a life where their business is creating the ability for them to live out their dreams. As an accomplished operational and professional sales leader with over 20 years of experience, makes him the go-to coach and a powerful coach for any business owner. So, without further ado, I want to welcome Brad Clark to the show. Hi, Brad. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Alicia. Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. Can you tell me just a little bit more about yourself and your business experience? You got 20 years of it.
Certainly. I'd be happy to. My education actually is in laboratory medicine. Interestingly enough, I started out my professional career out of college in hospital laboratories. I graduated in 1995 from Texas Tech University, summa cum laude, and with the eventual goal of, transitioning into medical, into being a doctor. I've always had this innate desire to help people. So my laboratory background, you can kind of say, gives me a little bit of an analytical brain. Unfortunately for my developing scientific career, but fortunately for my future, I quickly discovered that I am much more of an extrovert and a people person than my peers in the laboratory. So the bulk of my career has been in a combination of operations, sales, and operational and sales leadership. My first experience in leadership came about 4 years out of college in 1999, where I assumed a leadership role over a team of 45, and that 45 was spread over 2 states in an FDA-regulated distribution arena. Following that, exemplary experience, I entered into the sales world, where I spent more than 15 years in national sales and leadership of professional sales teams. So I do have a pretty extensive experience and responsibility for P&L management of multi-million-dollar budgets, recruitment and growth of successful sales teams spread across the U.S., and negotiation of multi-million-dollar deals. So honestly, at least I've been very blessed with my experience over the last 20 years.
Sounds like it. So what made you want to become a coach?
Well, I love to mentor and foster growth. I mean, over my professional and operational leadership experience, I grew to love to mentor and watch growth, all kinds of growth, personal growth, professional growth, business growth. And, when I started looking into how I could apply my leadership and my business acumen into a role that would give back, I discovered a pretty startling statistic. The Small Business Administration reports that 50% of small businesses will fail inside the first 5 years of their existence. And only a third of those remaining will last to the 10-year mark. I was pretty surprised by that statistic. And each of those failures result in, serious financial, family, reputation scars, and in most cases are extremely avoidable. Business coaches offer a unique set of skills and external insight that can help create and address avoidable issues, shore up their existing processes, and build a business designed to weather rough times and indeed thrive year over year. We as coaches have a very enviable opportunity to affect people's lives in the most intimate and profound of ways. Since I became a professional and graduated from college, that's always what I wanted to do, was to be able to help people in very profound ways. I found it through business coaching. So
what type of businesses do you help?
All sorts, from solopreneurs, I'm a solopreneur, a one-man band, to larger profitable enterprises. My firm belief, and honestly, the firm belief of our founder, Brad Sugars, is that every business should have a coach. There should be a coach in every business. And when you think about it, do you ever foresee a scenario where an elite athlete would attempt to compete at a very high level without the aid of a coach? In most cases, a team of coaches. Why would the complex and, ever-shifting world of business ownership be immune from this need as well? I mean, in these days of changing government regulations, of fast-growing economies, business ownership is a tough project. Business owners need help. So our definition of a business, and truly one that every owner and entrepreneur should strive towards, is a commercial and profitable enterprise that works without you. It's certainly possible to get a business that works, but to grow it to the elite, to build it to a thriving enterprise that works without you, you need help. Now more than ever. We provide that and so much more. We exist to ensure that business supports the personal desires, aspirations, and dreams of their owners. Because let's be honest, at the end of the day, if business goals aren't designed to support personal goals and those things that a business owner wants to accomplish in their personal life, what they've done is really bought themselves a very low paying, very high hour job. And they're not operating the business is operating them.
So what do you find maybe the top 2 or 3 issues business owners struggling with?
Yeah, it's a great question. And honestly, it's interesting. So, in speaking with business owners, any and all complaints, concerns, areas for improvement, however you want to word it, that are communicated to us through the course of a coaching relationship can all be tied back to really 3 key areas: time, team, or money. Owners are always in need of more time. I've yet to find a business owner that wish they had 3 or 4 more hours in the day. They need more time to build their businesses, to handle their teams. Honestly, a vast majority of them need more time just with their families. They're not spending enough time with their families. Owners are always wanting more effective ways to grow their teams, effectively utilize their teams, motivate their teams, and nowadays retain their teams. I mean, with the unemployment rate as low as it is, it's tough to retain teams. I mean, there's attractive opportunities out there all the time. And I've yet to meet a single business owner that would object to having more money. I mean, let's be honest, money is the name of the game. And that is a core growth area that almost all owners desire to improve in. So it always comes back to those 3, a variation of one or more of those 3, time, team, or money.
Okay. Why do you think most business owners are unsuccessful, or owners themselves finding that they're burning the wick at both ends?
Well, honestly, most business owners, they start with an idea or a passion that they have, or they see a need out there in their community that they think they can fill through business. They then go about working towards providing that need to the public. They're the experts, they're the technicians, they're the tacticians. They are experts in their idea or their passion or their need. But in order to build a profitable enterprise that will work without them, they need to have mastery in all aspects of building that enterprise, from financial to delivering their product, from having a niche to their team, from leadership to synergy of their business. Their business is aligned and locked in with their personal and dreams and goals. A lot of times owners will get so ingrained in their business that they fail to work on their business. I mean, you've heard of the saying, you can't see the forest for the trees. Well, that's what a lot of business owners find themselves in. They get so ingrained in the detail of their idea or their passion and bringing that passion to fruition that they neglect and don't see the smaller things it takes to build that business. That's where a coach comes in.
Definitely. Okay. So that makes sense. So how do you help business owners get off that hamster wheel and build businesses that can operate without them, but not only operate without them, but also, turn a profit, because that's always helpful?
Yeah. At the beginning of any coaching relationship, we start with what we call an alignment process. It's an extensive deep dive into all things about that owner of that business, from personal to business aspects, goals, and dreams. A lot of times we'll invite family members to attend the alignment process. We get a very, very clear picture of the owner's motivations, the owner's desires and aspirations. And then we construct a coaching program around those to ensure that the business goals are aligned to deliver on the owner's personal goals and dreams. Again, at the end of the day, if your business goals aren't aligned to deliver what your personal goals and dreams are, you don't have a business, and you get a very, very low paying job, and you're probably better off saving yourself the stress and just going out and getting a job. So over 25 years in business, Action Coach has developed a comprehensive 6-step systems to a better business. This system takes the business from its current state to one that will work without that owner. Our ultimate goal in building a business that will work without the owner is having the owner in a position that they can sell that business at will. They don't have to sell it. A lot of business owners, love their business. They don't want to sell it. But wouldn't it be nice to have the opportunity, if you needed to or had to, be able to sell that business and get top dollar? That's our ultimate goal.
And that's a good goal to have. I think that's a good goal for any business owner. So how involved do you get with the team, and how do you get the team on board and change their mindset?
Oh, the team is critical. So we get very, very involved with a business owner's team. A business owner's team is their single greatest asset. It's astounding to me when we ask business owners for their top priority in their business, they're always going to say frequently going to say, it's my customer. My customer is the top priority. We disagree. We think their top priority is their team. It's kind of a cyclical process of priorities in a business. We believe that the owner should be serving their team. The team supports the customer. The customer then supports their business by buying those products and services. So that's a cyclical kind of process of priority in a business. Business owner takes care of the team takes care of the customer takes care of the business takes care of the owner. An owner with a vested interest in seeing their team succeed will in turn have a business that will succeed. So an owner that has passion and responsibility, not only for their business, but his or her team, is key. Those 2 qualities are indeed the qualities of a successful leader and will create higher motivation and performance from their team.
And how do you get the team involved and operating to achieve this goal, the same goal? Like, how do you motivate them?
Well, we believe there's 6 steps to a winning team. Starts with a strong leader, and that strong leader has to have a vision. That strong leader has to be able to show passion and responsibility, again, not only for their business or the business idea, but for the success of their team. So it starts with a strong leader, and then it starts with common goals, and common goals towards the business overall goal. And again, the business overall goal supporting the owner's goal or the owner's personal goals. That all trickles down to a common goal for their team, and their team has to understand very clearly what those goals are. Then we call them to rules of the game, and we believe strongly in a culture statement. That Action Coach has a 14-step culture statement. These are basically the rules of the game. So it's a written out statement of what the owner's expectation of the behavior and activity of their team is. That's critical. And then an action plan. You can't go forward without knowing how to get there. So a detailed action plan is important. And again, we believe that action plan should have input from the team as well as the owner. This is going to sound weird, but the owner should support risk taking with their team. If you want to grow, you're going to have to do things differently. You're going to have to do things that you've never done before. And the team needs to understand that as well. And the team needs to be rewarded for risk taking. Now, I'm not saying go out there and, throw caution to the wind and throw spaghetti against the wall, but, risk taking to a wise degree should be supported from their team. And again, and the final one is 100% involvement and inclusion of their team. The team needs to have a vested interest in that company, and the owner needs to demonstrate and bring the team in at every step.
That makes sense. What do you find that's most difficult when getting the team and the leaders on the same page and working towards the same goal? Because I'm assuming it's not easy with every company. It's not. And through the process of coaching, you may find that some team members aren't going to work. And to bring a team member along when it's clear they're not going to work, not only does the business a disservice, but it does the team member a disservice, because the team member is clearly in a position that's not going to foster their strength. And it's probably better that they find a place that's going to foster their strength. So communication on a number of fronts is the leading cause of issues between team members and owners that we see. Unstated or poorly communicated job roles or expectations, lack of goals or a mission, general expectations of what the owner have of their team and the team of their owner. That is why it's so important for a consistent mechanism for information flow. The business needs to have goals to accomplish what the owner's personal goals are, and the team needs to understand and have goals to accomplish what the business goals are. Additionally, the owner needs to have a clear vision for the business. This vision needs to inspire and enroll the team to get there 100%. And above all, there's a system in place to ensure, again, that consistent flow of communication in both directions. It's not just top down, but it's bottom up. This in addition to encouraging 100% involvement, will keep all working on the same page and keep your team engaged. So talk to me about the 14 points of culture. I mean, you mentioned a little bit about that in a previous answer, but I would like to know more about the 14 points of culture, the Action Coach way, and what does being part of the Action Coach bring to the table for the business owner? Sure. Great question. So we think it's important to have a culture statement in all business. And as I mentioned before, it basically sets the rules of the game for any business. And we at Action Coach have 14 points of culture that sets the tone for everything that we are. And part of coaching is we will take that business owner through the steps to develop a culture statement. And there's specific requirements that every culture statement should satisfy. It isn't just a list of traits or characteristics that we strive to practice. It's a way of life for us. It goes back to the mindset shift that we're seeking with our clients. Action Coach doesn't just bring a comprehensive and exhaustively tested system to improve business. We bring a total and holistic approach to its owner as well. I mean, you can set up the best of systems in the world for a business, but if the mindset of the owner and the team aren't impacted as well, chances are that, the changes are going to be temporary. We're going to slip back into those ruts, and we're going to get back into that comfort zone when things get tough. And we seek to change that mindset and bring a new mindset to that business. But we stretch the owner's belief and expectations about what his or her business can and will achieve. Sky's the limit. I mean, we all as business owners have a very unique and boundless opportunity to achieve great things. Our founder, Brad Sugars, is fond of saying, dream big. We only have one life here on earth, so why not dream big? Makes sense, definitely. So how does a business owner know that you're the right person to coach them and help bring their business to the next level? That's an awesome question. And honestly, coaching is not for everybody. It's definitely not for everybody. And not every person or every business is coachable. It does require not only an investment in money, but a substantial investment in time and emotion. It's an emotional process. You're talking about people's livelihoods, their passions, their dreams. But if owners are willing, not only to invest in themselves, but willing to be vulnerable and willing to make changes necessary, both professionally and personally,
it can be the key to that boundless opportunity. So what we do is all prospective coaching clients are initially asked to sit down before a coaching relationship is ever established. Sit down with their prospective coach and undergo what we call a 1 to 2 hour business diagnostic session. This is completely complimentary. There's no strings attached and is meant to take a deep dive into the business and its owner to determine if the business and the owner are coachable. I personally like during these business diagnostic sessions to satisfy 3 crucial questions. And by the way, the owner is invited to satisfy with their own answers these 3 as well before I will ever recommend any coaching program. Question 1, is there sufficient opportunity to quickly find my fee within the first 3 to 4 months of coaching? It doesn't make any sense for the owner to expend the time, the emotional investment, the monetary investment, if I can't quickly find a way to recover my fees through improvements in their business in the first 3 to 4 months. So they need to have a quick return on investment. 2, can I help achieve their goals faster than if they were to go it alone? And again, why would a business owner expend the time, the emotion, the money only to achieve the goals just as fast as they would have by themselves? And can we have fun getting there? Business should be fun. Otherwise, why do you get into it? You might as well go get a job. This needs to be fun. And if it's a drain, if it's a drag, if it's something that you're dreading doing, how long do you think you're going to stick with your coach? So we need to have fun doing it. We need to look forward to these things and develop a really strong relationship. If we can satisfy all 3, then I believe I've found a client I can coach. And if the client can honestly answer those 3 questions, they found a coach they can get along with and they can help them grow.
Okay, so how do you know that the process is working? And if it's not working, how do you fix the problem to achieve the goal of the business? We're all trying to work toward what's in the best interest for the business. So first of all, how do you know it's working? Second of all, if it's not working, what do you do?
Sure. So there's a phrase that we use during the entire coaching process, and we say it early and we say it often, almost ad nauseum with our clients, and it's test and measure. It's a phrase that they get real used to hearing from us during coaching, and we don't implement any change or improvement in their business without having a mechanism to test it first and then measure its results. We then determine through that testing and measuring if the process is meeting the expected result. And if it's not, we very quickly sit down, we go back to the drawing board, we collaboratively brainstorm tweaks, changes, or scrap it and start over if we feel the need. Those changes are then instituted and tested and measured again, and so on and so forth. And that's how we measure and ascertain whether or not a business owner's having success through coaching. Real and long-lasting change. People are under the misconception that real and long-lasting change, exponential change in a business, is accomplished by one massive move. And it just isn't the case. It isn't accomplished by a single magic bullet, but rather a series of very small tweaks, gentle course corrections, minor modifications here and there. But over time, these series of minor changes compound each other and create the massive change that they're looking for in their business.
Okay, so you kind of went into a little bit of my next question, which is, what are a few myths and misconceptions that you can clear up about a business owner may have when hiring a coach?
There are a couple. I think the biggest one that we see all the time is just assuming that the need for a coach is only for those businesses that are broke or in distress. The ones that are steps away from closing their doors or have owners that are complete chaos. And that's just not the case. We firmly believe that, and our mission is a coach in every single business, including my own. I actually have 2. I have one coach for my business that I meet with every week, and I've got another one for my mindset that keeps my mindset focused forward, and I meet with her every week. So I like to compare it, to your health. Let's put it this way. Do you think it's wise to only see your doctor, your dentist when there's a problem? Or do you see them on a routine basis to ensure there isn't one? If you're interested in long-lasting health, you go see them routinely. Again, you'd never, ever see an elite athlete accomplish greatness and compete at elite levels without the aid of a coach. Why is a business any different? The ever-changing world of business now, it's hard to keep up, especially if you're trying to do it alone. And it's not necessary. And coaching can provide one of those mechanisms to ensure that you don't have a problem festering and developing underneath that you don't see. Another misconception is that business coaches are consultants. There is a big difference between a business coach and a consultant. A consultant will come in and be an expert in a particular area of your business and will recommend changes and will institute those changes and make those changes for you, basically do the work. We are not that. We're not going to be experts in your business. We don't feel the need to be an expert in your business because you are. We are an expert in how to improve business. So we're going to teach you and coach you and help you learn the ways to do this on your own rather than do it for you. So coaching is more about a learning process than a correction process.
Okay, so the coaching business is very competitive. Why would a business owner want to choose you as their coach?
Well, there's a couple of different reasons for that. Action Coach, we have what we will help a business owner create through coaching, which is what's called a unique selling proposition. It's part of our 6 steps to a better business. And a unique selling proposition is basically that proposition that makes you stand out from others in your arena. It's the ability to compete on value rather than on price. And, ultimately at the end of the day, we don't want to be price competitors. That doesn't draw the right to the customers for us. We want to compete on value. Well, our unique value proposition, our selling proposition, our USP is the fact that we are the #1 world business coaching firm. That has been tested. It has been measured through publication. We are the #1 coaching firm in the world. We have globally over 1,000 coaches in 70 some odd different countries. We have a community that's second to none. So if there's ever an answer that I don't have, and I don't claim to have all the answers, again, I'm not the expert in everything. I can get that answer from somewhere through our community of coaches. And we've got a fantastic and collaborative community of coaches. So when you bring on me as your coach, you're not just bringing on Coach Brad as the business coach of your business. You're bringing on 1,000 different coaches from many different cultures, many different backgrounds, many successful different business owners to help you in your business. And I think that's just a powerful, powerful offering.
Brad, tell me one piece of advice or maybe a little nugget of information that you could give business owners listening that they could use in their business right away.
Yeah, it's a great question, Alicia, and boy, do I get that one often. I'm a big fan of, return on investment, and in coaching, we are keen on making sure that we give back a return on our prospective clients' investment. And, when we do an initial diagnostic that's complimentary, that investment is their time, and time is valuable. And hour and a half to 2 hours spent out of your work a day is a valuable investment. So we always try to leave our prospects, our potential clients with some little nugget. Even if they don't sign up for coaching with us, we try to leave them with a little bit of information they can take away. So it's kind of a return and a thank you for their time they spent with us. I think for your listeners, I'm going to stay a little bit big picture, and I'll actually give you 2 nuggets. The first one is be a permanent student. Never stop learning. An active mind and a busy mind is a mind that's always going forward. And in coaching, we like to say, if you're not moving forward, then you're dying. Think about it. If a tree's not growing, a tree is dying. So, always be learning. Never be satisfied with what you know, and always search to learn something new every day, every week of your life. Become a voracious reader. I mean, I love to read all kinds of books, fiction, nonfiction, but seek out new and different ways to do things. Honestly, the 7 deadliest words that are ever uttered in the game of business, and even in life, is that's the way we've always done it. Don't be satisfied with the way we've always done it. Always search for something new. Stretch your limits and stretch your mind. And you do that by always learning. If you don't like to read or don't have time to read, I'm a big fan of Audible, or any other audio book subscription service that you can enroll in. I slap a book on that, and I'll go to the gym or put it in the car when I'm driving. Around the house when I'm doing chores or, mowing the lawn or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, somebody that's always learning is somebody that's always getting better. It's somebody that's always moving forward. And moving forward is the name of the game. The second thing is always have fun. If life is way too short not to enjoy what you do, owning your own business, it's stressful and it's tense at times, but it should allow you the freedom to do what you want. And it should allow you the freedom to do the things that you enjoy. And if you're not doing that, then sit down and look at yourself in the mirror and honestly ask yourself why. What is it? We are big fans of Action Coach of having fun, and we make coaching fun. We make growing your business fun because, like I said, life is just way too short not to have fun and not to enjoy what you do and to let the little petty things bother you. Control the controllables and let the things that you can't control go. But find that thing that you enjoy doing and latch on to it and have fun doing it, and make sure you instill in your team and your employees. Let's just have fun. I mean, business can be fun. Growing a business can be fun. Serving the public can be fun, and let's just always have fun. And we will definitely pursue that and promote that in any coaching relationship that we have.
I like it. Always be learning and having fun while you're doing it. Good advice.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I have one more question for you, and this is most important. If somebody wanted to get a hold of you for your services, how would they go about doing it?
Well, that's a great question. And that's one of the first things that we coach a business owner in through coaching is make it easy as possible for your client to get your services, products, and services. So I have multiple different ways from my website at www.actioncoach.com/Brad, B-R-A-D, Clark, C-L-A-R-K. There's several different things on my website that can be useful. And there's business tools. There's a business diagnostics test. There's a marketing test. All of it is complimentary that you can engage from my website. There's a blog. all kinds of great complimentary offerings on that website. In addition, you can take a brief, fill out a brief questionnaire, and it will send me, various different aspects of your business and your contact info. And we can reach out and have a conversation. You can always just email me. I'm a big techie guy. I love email. I love text. You can get me at Brad Clark, BradClark @actioncoach.com. Facebook and LinkedIn are big in the world of business today. And I have a Facebook page at Action Coach /into Success Coaching. And then the same thing on LinkedIn. You can find me on LinkedIn. Any of those ways are great. And of course, the old fashioned phone number at 972-971-6556 works fantastically as well. So business owners need to make it easy to reach you and to inquire about your services. And I've got multiple ways you can get me.
Nice. Okay. That's great. So, well, Brad, first of all, I want to say I love what you do, and I really appreciate your time today. I think the Action Coach way is definitely a bonus for any business owner. And I love the fact that you're trying to get business owners to not work in their business and make their business work for them. That's important.
I appreciate the opportunity, Alicia, to communicate this to your listeners. And the interesting thing about being a coach is, for me, it was transformational. It was something I wasn't expecting, but it really has been a transformation in myself. And I feel incredibly blessed to have this opportunity.
This was a great interview. All right, guys, you just heard from Brad Clark, Action Coach. And this is your host, Alicia Dubrell from Insight Media. Until next time.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.